Two suspected cases of Lassa fever turned out negative in Zamfara State. Zamfara State House of Assembly to partner with people with special needs. It's foolish to call for Buhari's resignation, says Garuba Shehu. On business, Nigeria owes World Bank $9.81 billion, says DMO. And on the international scene, President Trump's plan for Palestine could deal blow to Israel's economy. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Now the news in full. The two suspected cases of Lassa fever in Zamfara State have turned out negative after laboratory tests. Commissioner for Health Yahaya Kanoma stated this when speaking with journalists on the measure put in place by the state government to prevent the outbreak of the epidemic in Zamfara State. The commissioner emphasized the need for the people to imbibe the culture of keeping the environment clean and maintain personal hygiene in order to prevent the disease. He also enumerates measures being taken by the state government to prevent the outbreak of the disease in the state. They include provision of vaccines, hand sanitizers, sanitization, and the establishment of centers which people could report suspected cases for prompt action. Alhaji Kanoma also enjoins residents of the state to remain calm, as there are no cases of the epidemic in the state, while government is working assiduously to forestall any outbreak. He calls on the traditional rulers and religious leaders in Zamfara State to help sensitize the people on the need to take preventive measures in order to prevent the disease. The Speaker of Zamfara State House of Assembly, Alhaji Nasiru Mazu Magaria, has assured people with special needs of government readiness in carrying them along in all government activities. The Speaker made the assurance when executive members of the National Association of the Blind Zamfara State Chapter paid him a courtesy call in his office. Speaker Magaria said more than any other time in the past, the state government is poised to assist people with special needs considering their vulnerability in the society. He also assured them of his commitment to attend commissioning ceremony of the office coming up in due course. The state chief lawmaker made an official donation of 100,000 naira for the purchase of office furniture as they requested. Earlier speaking, the state chairman of the association, Alhaji Abubakar Nakeita, said they were in the house for the first time in more than a decade to register their unflinching support and cooperation to the leadership of the house and by extension the government of Governor Bello Matawale Maradun for restoring the most needed peace in the state. Alhaji Abubakar Nakeita further informed the speaker that more than 100 of their members lost their lives while thousands others sustained various degrees of injuries during the 8-year senseless carnage in the state. In a statement released to newsmen by the spokesperson of the House, Mustafa Jafar Kaura, said the leadership of the House also condoles with resident electoral commissioner of the INEC in the state, Dr. Asma Usani Mekudi, over the death of head of Department Information and Communication Technology, Alhaji Aliu Omar Ahmad, who died recently. Speaker Magaria, while condoling with REC Commissioner, prayed Allah to grant the disease Al-Jana Fidausi. Speaker Nasiru also used the occasion to familiarize himself and House members with the REC, stressing that his leadership has been agitating for this visit but unable to, owing to numerous commitments by both members and REC himself. Responding to the leadership of the 6th Assembly, the State Resident Electoral Commissioner Dr. Asimao Sani Mekudi expressed her profound gratitude and appreciation to the State House of Assembly for their concern. shown to the electoral body in the state and prayed Allah to reward the House members abundantly. The Speaker later donated food items to the family of the deceased, which include 3 bags of rice and 2 jerrycans of cooking oil, among other food items. The visit was attended by the Deputy Speaker Alhaji Musa Bawa Nkuzo, House Leader Alhaji Farouk Musa Dosara, Deputy Chief Whip Alhaji Ibrahim Mohammed Bukoyu, and Alhaji Tukur Jakada Brinin Tudu, and other House members. The European Union-funded Fuel Wood Balance Project has in the last 5 years planted 8 million trees in 7 local government areas of Katsina State. The participating councils are Baure, Mashi, Dosi, Daura, Mai Adua, Zango, and Sandamu. Speaking at the review ceremony, the coordinator in the state, Dr. Chris Udokan, said the project was designed to address the environmental challenge of desert encroachment that was bedeviling the areas. According to him, the project, which is rounding up, has increased wood supply by establishing farmer-managed natural regeneration and other sustainable agroforestry models. He said over 275,000 farmers, pastoralists, and other entrepreneurs were created, just as 55,000 households benefited during the project. The coordinator said even though the project was winding up in the state this month, a sustainable roadmap has been established to ensure the sustainability of the project through the creation of front desk at the State Department of Forestry and the 7 councils. No fewer than 757 suspected drug traffickers have been arrested in Katsina State with different hard drugs exhibits. The state commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Mr. Mamadou Sule, disclosed this to reporters on Monday while presenting the command's 2019 picture of its achievement. He said the command has also secured a total of 85 convictions at the Federal High Court in the state, adding that the year under review has been eventful as the unit briskly counseled 360 drug users. Mr. Mamadou, while ranking Katsina as number 3rd in the northwestern state in drug abuse and trafficking, pledged to bring it down by adopting the demand and supply reduction strategies. He therefore assured of the command's readiness to do better, soliciting for critical support and understanding from both the people and government of the state to ensure a paradigm shift. Part of the seizures registered by the command includes over 1,360 kg of illicit drugs and over 13,972 kilograms of psychotropic substances and 20.4 liters of codeine. The presidency on Wednesday said it is foolish for anyone to ask President Muhammadu Buhari to resign over the insecurity in the country. It could be recalled that Senator Enyinaya Abaribe, Senate Minority Leader at the Senate plenary, had earlier asked President Buhari to resign over what he called persistent state of insecurity. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garuba Shehu, said Abaribe's positions does not represent the collective wish of Nigerians. According to Garuba Shehu, just because some characters think that President Buhari should resign, the call does not represent the opinion of the country. President Buhari is working hard to keep Nigeria and Nigerians out of the harm terrorists have unleashed in the entire Sahel and sub-Saharan Africa, with the support of Nigerians and some foreign friends. The presidential aide said the president is going to finish off the terrorists. He said if a leader like Buhari needs to resign, there are millions of other Nigerians who need to resign, including Senator Abaribe, who unlocked the door to enable the escape of traitorous and treasonable suspects. Garuba Shehu explained that Abaribe signed the bond for the court to release Nnamdi Kanu on bail, from which moment the suspect disappeared into thin air. Following alleged deterioration of security in the country, Nigeria's House of Representatives on Wednesday called for the resignation of all service chiefs. This followed unanimous adoption of a motion by Rep. Muhammadu Mungono at plenary. Indeed, the House urged President Buhari to sack the service chiefs if they fail to resign. Moving the motion earlier, Alhaji Mungono said that the territorial integrity of Nigeria was being threatened following the resurgence of insurgency in the northeast. Alhaji Mungono, who represents Mungono Federal Constituency of Borno, said that the attack by the Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast zone have lingered for more than 7 years. He recalled that when President Muhammadu Buhari came into power in 2015, the activities of insurgents were reduced into the barest minimum. Alhaji Mungono said that the feats achieved by the Nigerian armed forces had led to increased economic activities within the northeast zone. He, however, said recently the Boko Haram insurgents who were relegated to the background were now unleashing terror in Borno and Yobe State. The insurgents have forced the Nigerian military to close traffic on the Damaturu-Maiduguri road for some days. The Damaturu-Maiduguri road is the only access from Maiduguri to other parts of Nigeria. The closure of the road is an indication that the Boko Haram insurgents have seized the road and attacked communities on that axis. According to him, incessant attacks on communities along the Damaturu-Maiduguri road have forced the residents to flee to refugee camps in Maiduguri for safety. Nigeria has issued a travel advisory to citizens following the spread of the coronavirus in many parts of the world. The Minister of Health, Osagi Ehanire, made this known shortly after the first Federal Executive meeting for 2020 in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. He said people in Nigeria planning to travel to China or any of the affected countries should delay such plans till further notice. The minister said it has become necessary to issue a travel advisory to Nigerians and urge those arriving from such countries with no visible symptoms to self-isolate themselves for 2 weeks after their arrival. Dr. Ehanire also noted that airlines have a duty to report any incident of passenger falling sick during flights. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Menene amfanin gari idan har babu zaman lafiya?
Mecece jiha idan babu shugaba mai adalci? Mecece rayuwa idan ba yanci?
Me amfanin karatu idan har ba aiki?
Menene mahimmancin zabe idan babu roman demokradiyya?
Menene amfanin tarihi idan har ba za a samu darasi daga cikin sa ba?
Jihar Zamfara da can ta kasance a bar sha'awa. Gashi kuma sansanin noma da kasuwanci.
Gurin da kowa ke sha'awar zuwa. Amma sai abubuwa suka juya.
Amma sai ya kasance yanzu da zarar an ambaci sunan Zamfara, tunanin wata musifa da ko bala'i shine ke darsu a zakatan mutane.
Baki suka daina zuwa, 'yan gari suka fara guduwa. Talauci da tashin hankali suka yi yawa.
Gashi jihar mu mai haske ta dawo ta yi duhu.
Sa'annan mutanen Zamfara sai muka tashi tsaye, muka kama addu'o'i da tuba ga Ubangijinmu.
Sai kuwa Allah ya amsa addu'anmu, sai ya kawo mana matawallan muradi.
Dodon makiya zaman lafiya, dodon talauci, dodon makaryata da masu yaudara.
Me yi kuma dan Allah, me kishin mutane.
Me kuma neman gwamnati ba dan kansa ba.
Cikin kankanin lokaci sai gashi ya dawo mana da hasken Zamfara, amma ta fi yadda take da.
Wannan shi ake nufi da shugaba.
Jarumi ba malalaci ba.
Ma'aikaci ba barawo ba.
Allah ka kare mana zababben gwamna matawalin maradi.
Allah kuma ya ƙara masa lafiya. Allah kuma ya ƙara ɗaukaka.
Wannan saƙo ne daga gwamnatin jihar Zamfara ƙarƙashin jagorancin Bello Muhammad Matawallan Maradun MON kuma bardan ƙasar Hausa.
Welcome back on Business. Jemima Samuel has more detail.
Welcome to Business Desk. The total owned debt to the World Bank Group by Nigeria rose by $1.3 billion in 1 year to $9.81 billion of September 2019. Latest information from Debt Management Office showed on Wednesday. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development and International Development Association, which make up the World Bank, have over the years advanced loans to Nigeria. The IBRD lends to governments of middle-income and credit-worthy low-income countries, while the IDA provides concessionary loans called credit and grants to governments of the poorest countries. Nigeria's debt to the IDA and IBRD stood at $9.41 billion and $409.51 billion as of September 30, 2019, compared to $8.39 billion and $124 million in September 30, 2018, according to the DMO data. The total amount of loans approved by the World Bank of Nigeria reached $24.64 billion, data obtained from the Multinational Development Bank showed. As of December 31, 2019, Nigeria had secured $7.14 billion loan from the IBRD and $17.54 billion loan from the IDA, according to the World Bank data. The IBRD and the IDA cancelled $771.04 million and $1.74 billion respectively of the approved loans. Data showed that a total of $16.89 billion had been disbursed to the countries, with $5.72 billion from the IBRD and $11.17 billion from the IDA. The country had repaid to a total of $6.45 billion to both institutions, $5.29 billion to the RBD and $1.16 billion to the IDA. The loans, many of which are still being disbursed, were approved of 177 projects in the country, which the first loan secured in 1947. In November 2019, $75 million was approved for the second Africa Higher Education Center of Excellence for Development Impact project. And that's all we have on Business Desk today. I am Jemima Samuel.
And on the international scene, US peace to prosperity proposal could stroke conflict in Middle East, with annexation likely to have negative effects. As United States President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin appeared jointly on Tuesday to endorse the new U.S. political framework for peace in the Middle East, analysts rushed to count the cost of imminent changes on the ground. The latest details of the Trump administration's long-awaited plan were released as the second part of a 1-2 punch, with the first, the economic component, having been announced with great fanfare by White House senior advisor Jared Kushner last June in Bahrain. Analysts argue that sleek presentations and hard sells could deliver the opposite of the deal's promised prosperity, and not just to the Palestinians, but also the economic future of Israel could also suffer. The dean of the Tom King School of Economics at IDC, Hazliya, noted that as the Trump plan does not seem to generate negotiations, but potentially enhance the political conflict between the Palestinians and Israel, as well as between Israel and Jordan, there is no reason to think that it will have any economic positive impact in the short run. The long term depends on the overall reduction of potential and actual conflicts, which does not seem to be an immediate outcome or even medium-run result. Israel's internal political deadlock, which has seen the country move towards its third election in less than a year, has stalled passage of a new 2020 government budget. And pending the next national vote on March 3rd, Benjamin has been formally indicted by Israeli court for corruption on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. Benjamin's finance minister, Moshe Klon, is one of the few Israeli officials with a record of consistent engagement with his Palestinian counterpart. He announced this month that he will not seek re-election. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. 2 suspected cases of Lassa fever turned out negative in Zamfara State. Zamfara State House of Assembly to partner with people with special needs. It's foolish to call for Buhari's resignation, says Garuba Shehu. On business, Nigeria owes World Bank $9.81 billion, says DMO. And on the international scene, Trump plan for Palestine could deal blow to Israel's economy. Thanks for watching. I still remain Musa Joy Unyoza. Stay tuned.